How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my latest trip through Star Trek, the original series. And today's episode I'm going to be watching is Tomorrow is Yesterday. Just a little apology that I didn't get the episode up on Saturday like I usually do. If some of you would have known from my reaction on Little Big Man, I'd had some power outages during the week, so I'm still trying to catch up with the schedule. I'm still a little behind. I did manage to get Dracula on in time, but Star Trek, it just was a little tricky to try and get that done in time, so it is a little late, so apologies for that. But guys, as always, if you're new to the channel, I have a Patreon page as well, and there'll be a full uncut reaction to this coming out as well shortly after the reaction goes up. So there'll be a link in the description if you want to check that out, or if you want to check out the different tiers, if you want to support the channel further, that'd be fantastic. If you'd like to do kind of a one-time thing, you can give me the super thanks as well in the comments. If you'd like to, again, support the channel further, that'd be really appreciated. But as always, just a big support, or a big thank you to all of you who subscribed on the channel, and also to my patrons on Patreon, to Ravi, to James63, to Jonathan, to Mary, to Blaze, to Gigi Gooding, and to me Hall. Thank you so much for the support. But with that said, let's watch Season 1, Episode 19 of Star Trek, the original series, Tomorrow is Yesterday. What the heck? Modern day. Like a flashback or something?
Captain,
What is it, Webb?
a blip, sir. It's not one of ours, sir. It doesn't even read like anything I've ever seen.
What was the approach?
None, sir. It was just there.
Air Defense will want to send somebody up to get a closer look. I think we have a real UFO on our hands.
Okay.
Space, the final frontier.
What the hell is going on?
These are the voyages. Explore strange
New worlds.
To seek out
Seeking out in a familiar world at the moment, it seems.
We were en route to Starbase 9 for resupply when a black star of high gravitational attraction began to drag us toward it. But like
So
snapping
there.
a rubber band, the breakaway sent us plunging through space to stop here,
Ooh, are they going into the
wherever
past?
we are. Oh, but
Surely they
where?
would know where they are. Or...
Earth, Captain.
Oh,
We were on a general course in this direction when we were pulled in by the star.
yeah, but a different timeline.
Screen on.
I'm getting something on another frequency, but it's not Starfleet.
Put it on audio.
Kennedy, the first manned moonshot is scheduled for Wednesday, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All three astronauts who are to make this
That was in the late 1960s.
Apparently, Captain. So are we.
Yeah, you'd be like, what the...
What?
Whiplash propelled us into a time warp, Captain. Scanners report some type of craft approaching from below us, under cloud cover and closing.
You should be close enough for visual contact. Scotty, activate tractor beam. Lock onto that aircraft and hold it out there.
This type of aircraft might be too fragile to take our tractor beam.
Tractor beam on, sir.
Aircraft is breaking up, Captain.
Let it go.
Transporter room. Can you lock onto the cockpit of that aircraft?
Okay, they got him on board anyhow. Doesn't this break with the time continuum though? I guess he had no choice.
English.
That's right. Transporter,
Captain John Christopher, United States Air Force. Serial number 4857932.
Where am I? What happened?
You people, who are you? Just tell me who you are.
we'll tell you what we decide to tell you in a few moments. In the meantime, relax. You're
Lighting was kind of different.
right.
It almost,
Kirk out.
like Kirk was in shadow. Be in his perspective of seeing this kind of slightly intimidated, like, because he's going to be intimidated, but making Kirk look a little more intimidated maybe.
Bridge.
Must have taken quite a lot to build a ship like this.
I don't know if they bring him
I
to the
see.
bridge yet.
Did the Navy...
We're a combined service. This is my first officer, Lieutenant Commander Spock.
Captain?
Feel free to look around, Captain. Don't touch
Feel
anything.
free to stare at his ears. Careful, they're pointy.
There's a word and a half.
We cannot return him to Earth, Captain. He already knows too much about us and is learning more. An unscrupulous man were to gain certain knowledge of man's future. Such a man could manipulate key industries and in so doing, change what must be.
But he doesn't
And
have enough
if it is
information
changed, Captain,
to give that to someone.
you and I might not even exist.
Your logic can be most annoying. We can't send you back.
Now the cat is among the pigeons.
You know what the future looks like. If anybody else finds out, they could change the course of it.
Well, then my disappearance would change something, too.
That's
I
true.
have shown no record of any relevant contribution by John Christopher.
I don't want to know about risks. I have a wife, 2 children. What about them?
It's true.
Engine room to Captain
One
Kirk.
family against the altered future.
Kirk here. What is it, Scotty?
Maybe I can't go home, but neither can you. You're as much a prisoner in time as I am.
You get information by the future. He wants to go home. I mean,
Now, I'm gonna step into that thing, and you're gonna transport me back to Earth.
And if we do get back to where we belong, then he won't belong. We're roughly about the same age, but in our society.
Must check on that factor, that your son, Colonel Sean Jeffrey Christopher, will head the first successful Earth-Saturn probe. Sean Jeffrey.
but is that bad as well to tell him that he's going to have a child?
That's it.
You know, there's so many things you could say could be harmful or.
When I made visual contact, I turned on my wing cameras. And I got close enough to take some pretty clear pictures of you.
Our tractor beam caught and crushed an Air Force plane. Possible to explain us as anything other than a
That's
genuine
right.
UFO. Possibly alien. Definitely.
Jesus. You don't get distracted by anything now. It's going to look different to you, you know that.
Hold it. Get your hands up.
One of them should have been looking at the door. Maybe a third person should have gone down. I guess though, if they thought if they were caught, the less people that are down there, the less harm it would have on
And the bag.
the future if they never got back to the Enterprise.
That noise. It's coming from one of these things.
If he's distracted with that, you might be able to get the gun out of his hand.
The emergency signal.
Oh shit. He's got a gun with it. It's frozen solid.
Our guest seems quite satisfied to remain where he is.
It's weird seeing them in these uniforms in present day locations, you know. The juxtaposition.
Try the dark room. That's all of them. Signal must have sparked that we're almost ready to beam up.
Shit. And see, it all comes across as like hostile actions. Stealing stuff, attacking them, you know.
All right, where's the other one?
One of them. Besides, could anyone get out of here without you seeing them?
We've completed re-energizing the warp engine, sir. We can refire them any time.
Do so now, engineer. We'll need a...
Blast your theories and observations, Mr. Spock. What about Jim? Now, look, mister, you and I had better start communicating. I want to know how you got in here. Now, that's a simple question.
I popped in out of thin air.
You seem to think this is some kind of a game.
Colonel, would you mind being careful with that?
But disassembled and examined. We are not dummies, mister. We know how to find out things we want to know.
He's probably being held in security section. Even if they've notified the authorities, it'll take a little time for someone to get there. But you're not going to get them unless you take me with you.
What about the other guy? They're not going to beam him back. Wasn't he in the transporter room the whole time?
no answers. Mr. Sulu, signal
He's
the
gonna
transport
threaten him.
chief 4 to beam up. That's it.
I'm not going up.
Not me.
You know, it's fair enough. It's fair enough. Why would you want to go back?
You don't have to return me now, Captain. Spock, come out of there. You over my dead body.
We must make an attempt to break free of this time, or we and our reluctant passengers will remain its prisoners.
Todd and I both agree that the only possible solution is a slingshot effect, like the one that put us here. We move faster and faster toward the sun. We'll begin to move backward in time. We'll actually go back beyond yesterday, and we'll transport you back at a point before any of this happened.
You won't have anything to remember because it never will have happened.
Overshoot our time. And if I stop the engine suddenly, the strain may tear us apart.
It's another risk on top of another risk, isn't it?
Well, gentlemen, we all have to take a chance.
Never thought I'd make it into space. I was in line to be chosen for the space program. I didn't qualify.
Take a good look around, Captain.
You're going to get a better experience than what anyone of your timeline will ever experience it.
Since we've passed Mercury, the sun's pull on us has increased greatly. From here, we'll move even faster.
Get your gear, report to the transporter room. And Captain Christopher, you only have about 15 years, so you better hurry.
More power, Mr. Silver.
What is moving forward again, Captain?
You have the chronometer reading and the coordinates to return Captain Christopher in the guard?
Computed.
We're coming up on Earth fast. Captain, are you ready?
Everything okay? Captain, thanks for the look ahead.
Our pleasure, Captain. Good job.
And thank you for the look back. Gone. Thought he saw something. I think I saw a UFO.
I could have sworn there was some kind of ship, but nothing could have moved that fast.
Nobody in there because there's nothing to record. There was nothing to record this time.
40. 30.
Never mind, Mr. Spock.
Mr. Scott is still with us.
Frequency open, sir.
Starfleet Control. This is the Enterprise. Captain Kirk speaking. The Enterprise is home. Kirk out.
And in the right timeline. Okay, and that was Tomorrow is Yesterday, and I thought this was an excellent episode. Just seeing those shots of the air base and kind of just seeing present day, it was so kind of like what the hell is going on here? But it was also so cool to see the Enterprise in the sky among people of present day. I know it's the 60s, but of present day, it's such a different episode. I also love that we really kind of get a focus on was it Christopher, that captain, and kind of through his eyes, taking in what he's seeing, seeing Spock, seeing the Enterprise, and kind of how you deal with that, and also kind of like how he challenges them and going like, no, hang on a second, I'm not gonna, if they're saying like this will alter the future, but like I have a family, I have kids, I have a wife, I'm not gonna give up on this. So it's kind of that power struggle between the two, and you could see it from both sides, and you could see why he didn't want to leave. The only kind of bit of confusion I had was at the end though, is why his memory is wiped, but theirs isn't. They didn't really kind of explain that. I was a little kind of confused about that. It was only a little minor thing, but on the whole, I thought this was a really fascinating episode. Really enjoyed it. Loved the concept. Just kind of that classic time travel thing. It's a classic element of sci-fi. We've seen it in so many things, but when it's done well, it's always so fascinating to watch. So yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. But guys, let me know in the comments your thoughts on Tomorrow is Yesterday. Where would this rank among your favourite episodes? Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. But until next time, Slogfall.